Okay, let's dive right into this explainer. Today, we're going to decode exactly why the everyday, seemingly harmless ritual of small talk might literally be draining your mental energy. Seriously, if you've ever felt completely exhausted by a totally normal conversation about the weather, you are definitely in the right place.
Put yourself at a loud party. You know the scene, right? Everyone around you seems to be having an absolute blast talking about, well, nothing in particular. Meanwhile, you're desperately scanning the room for the nearest exit just to get a breath of fresh air. So, why does chatting about the weather or answering, "So, how was your weekend?" for the literal 10th time drain you so completely while everyone else seems to thrive on that surface level noise?
Well, in those moments, it's incredibly easy to feel like you're just being antisocial or maybe even a bit of a snob. But psychology reveals something entirely different. Listen, this is not a social deficit. It has absolutely nothing to do with being rude. It's actually a massive, hidden psychological indicator of how your mind is fundamentally wired. You're simply operating on a completely different frequency.
Let's map out exactly why you operate on this frequency by looking at 5 critical areas. 1. The small talk trap. 2. Your curiosity system. 3. Protecting cognitive bandwidth. 4. The active observer. And 5. Wired for deep thinking. Section 1. The small talk trap and escaping that surface level noise.
The main reason small talk feels so utterly exhausting is simply a fundamental mismatch. Your brain is receiving all this surface level noise and predictable, repetitive information. But what it actually wants, and what it's actively searching for, is depth, meaning, and complex, high quality data. It's actively rejecting the noise because, well, it just doesn't meet its basic needs.
Section 2. Your curiosity system and seeking the dopamine reward.
Highly intelligent individuals have this incredibly powerful curiosity system. Here's how your brain is supposed to work. Step 1, you learn some new, complex information. Step 2, that triggers a massive dopamine reward in the brain. And step 3, you feel completely energized. But here's the problem with small talk. Because it involves such repetitive, mundane information, it completely fails to trigger that dopamine reward. So instead of feeling energized, your brain literally feels like it's performing a grueling chore. So while other people are getting a genuine social high from just chatting away, you are experiencing what's called fragmented attention. Because small talk is so incredibly predictable, your mind is basically desperately searching for substance. It's trying to find something, really anything, substantial to latch onto. And let me tell you, that frantic mental searching, it is incredibly tiring.
Section 3. Protecting cognitive bandwidth and the cost of social rituals. Psychology tells us that we all possess something called cognitive bandwidth. Basically, this means our brains only have a finite, strictly limited amount of mental energy to spend each and every day. Once it's gone for the day, it's just gone. And for deep thinkers, constant social noise is quite literally mentally expensive. Forced social rituals feel so exhausting because they violently drain this limited bandwidth without giving you a single new insight in return. Honestly, it's a massive cost for absolutely zero reward.
It's not that you can't talk to people, not at all. It's that you value your cognitive bandwidth way too much to waste it. You'd much rather take that precious mental energy and reallocate it toward things like deep creation, thinking through complex problems, or gaining new insights. You are fiercely protecting your mental fuel for the things that actually help you grow.
Section 4. The active observer and decoding the true self. There is a stark, almost funny contrast between perception and reality here. People look at you and just assume you're staying in your shell or maybe just being quiet and antisocial. But the reality? You are acting as an active observer. While they're chatting, you're actually busy decoding tone, emotion, and logic. You're processing what everyone else is completely missing, trying to decode the actual person behind the words. And honestly, this is exactly why small talk is so deeply frustrating for you. You recognize that small talk is often just a forced social performance. It acts as a mask, hiding a person's true self. So for an active observer who is actively trying to decode reality, this forced performance just acts as a massive barrier to any genuine connection. You operate with what psychologists call an internal locus of evaluation. That simply means you judge the value of an interaction by your own internal standards of authenticity, rather than just blindly following a script that society handed to you.
Because of this, having a random, deep conversation on an ordinary Tuesday means significantly more to you than a dozen superficial office pleasantries about, the printer being jammed again.
Section 5. Wired for deep thinking and embracing your psychological blueprint. So the next time you feel that sudden urge to completely skip the generic birthday wishes and dive straight into discussing the universe, human psychology, or some brand new idea you just had, don't apologize for it. This is exactly what your brain actually wants to do. Look, you aren't weird. Your brain is simply a highly specialized tool. It's a tool that craves high-quality data over sheer quantity, and it proves that you are, quite literally, wired for deeper thinking. So I want to leave you with this final, provocative thought to reflect on today. If your mind inherently relies on this internal standard of authenticity to find deep meaning, and your brain is scientifically built for depth, why would you ever apologize for walking away from the surface-level noise?